I'm Christy.
I'm Heather.
And that's Sir Garthur Brooks. And let's get freaky. Speaking of freaky, this first one is from Madison, and it is called My Dad Worked for John Wayne Gacy. Hey, Christy and Heather. My name is Madison, and I'm a lover of all things crime, spooky, paranormal, and sinister. Your podcast has gotten me through many night shifts as a travel nurse, and I am so grateful for all the work you two put into this podcast for everyone. Do you guys have one of those friends who weird things always seem to happen to? Well, it's me. I could tell you about the time I accidentally ended up in a cult and then proceeded to get banned, my stalker from freshman year of college that my loyal friends bullied in retaliation, or the fact that I am literally allergic to the cold and break out in hives. Yes, the Midwest is the worst place for me to live. But for today, I'm going to tell you a story about a secret my dad kept from me. Back in January of 2024, I went on a trip for my 26th birthday with my friends to Vegas. Of course, as a lover of all things creepy, my only wish was to visit the Zach Bagan's Haunted Museum. I ended up doing the VIP tour, which I highly suggest. Anyway, my dad was kind enough to pick me up from the airport after I got back. My dad, knowing I was visiting the museum, asked how it was. I began going into my long, ADHD, wildly obsessed explanation, room by room, of how it was, including my favorite part being the serial killer room. I was telling my dad about all the artifacts there when I mentioned there was a case that included John Wayne Gacy things and that he was from Iowa. My dad replied with, "Yeah, I know. I worked for him when I was young, remember?" My mouth dropped open. "No, you fucking didn't." "Yeah, Madison," he said. "You know I worked for KFC in high school in my early 20s. Holy fucking shit. Oh my God. I kept going on with creative cuss words strung together. At first, calling my father a goddamn liar, and then realizing he was telling the truth and that I just never put two and two together. I knew my dad worked for KFC. He had mentioned it a few times when we had driven by them in town. He mentioned he hated smelling like greasy chicken all the time. He had not explicitly mentioned freaking John Wayne Gacy. I had known John Wayne Gacy and his first wife, Carol, had moved to Waterloo, Iowa to take over the 3 KFC franchises. I just never put the two together with the dates. As many have said about John Wayne Gacy, my dad said he was a popular guy who threw lots of block parties. My dad did mention toward the end of the divorce with Carol, he really didn't see much of Gacy at KFC anymore. Flash forward to 1978, when John Wayne Gacy was caught. My dad said the FBI showed up at KFC one day and tore up all the parking lots. Apparently, they had been redone while Gacy was managing there, and there were high concerns from the FBI that there would be more bodies found in the KFC parking lots. There weren't any, but my dad said it was wild to see them at his place of work. I can't believe my dad never mentioned that to me one night at dinner over the years. Or maybe I can. Maybe telling your daughter you worked for a serial killer isn't something you share until she is in her late 20s. But if I had met John Wayne Gacy, you can bet I would tell everyone within 5 seconds of meeting them. My dad is starting his second round of chemo for lung cancer soon. But if the cruel mastermind John Wayne Gacy didn't get my dad, there's no way he's letting cancer beat him.
Oh, Madison. Well, first of all, we're going to wish healing vibes and well wishes to your dad.
Absolutely.
With his chemo. But yeah, what a story to go. I told you that, right? Just sort of drop it in casual conversation.
Casually mention that. It's also so wild and eerie to look back and think, was there weird stuff going on that maybe I just kind of brushed under the rug or overlooked? Or, I mean, everyone does say he was kind of the life of the party, which is probably one reason he became a clown, to get access to all those kids. But
more parties.
He was, always throwing parties and whatnot. So like a big gregarious guy who's just managing KFC. I didn't know the KFC part. So that's wild. And who's to say that things weren't going on when Madison's dad was working there?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's reasonable that the FBI came and tore up the parking lots, because if that's getting repaved while they know he had a predilection for burying bodies, but that's got to be such an eerie feeling to look out your store window while you're at work and watch law enforcement digging it up, not knowing that they're not going to find anything, going, oh my God, could the owner have actually done that? The guy that threw all the parties? Those always get me in cases like this, just sort of like their everyday life, like their kind of banal actions that they're, he's just managing a KFC. He's throwing a block party. You have no idea like the capacity for evil that lies within.
No, it's truly horrifying. And then when you extrapolate that out to everybody, I mean, who do we ever really know?
Who do we know? After your outburst on the Q&A last night of how your preferred method of killing.
I feel like I was backed into a corner. I said, I don't want to have to attack anybody in a cage match, but if I did, I don't want to go fist to fist. I would just use poison.
But you know what? You said no mess, no muss, no fuss. But yeah, I didn't mean to put you on blast about your preferred methods. It's fair, completely fair. But
I just don't want to get my hands dirty.
Truly. But yeah, all that to say, Madison, your dad, that he truly encountered evil incarnate. That's an eerie thing to have. You just kind of like a story about you that you don't really think about too much, but that might be a mechanism of the 70s. And like, we don't need to, let's not think about these things. Just
it's like
sort of.
The other Freaky Friday we had where the girl's dad had gotten into it with BTK over their dog.
True. Oh, Dennis. Yeah, that's true. Just their everyday average lives.
It is that eerie. It is that creepiness. You're right, though, of like, they're just normal people. Like, we all assume these type of people will be so easy to spot. But the reason they get away with it for so long is that they just blend into society like normal, everyday people.
Just like we just moved to town to take over these KFCs, and you have no idea what moved to town. So, well, thank you, Madison.
Yes. And good. I'm glad that you enjoyed the Haunted Museum so much. We're going to be in Vegas.
We got to go for sure.
So I think we're going to have to go. And also there was something else in Vegas we were going to do.
Chippendales.
That's it. Yeah. I was thinking Meow Wolf, but also Chippendales. But I thought there was another paranormal or like haunted site we were going to see in Vegas, but I might be thinking
the bunker.
That's what it was. Yes.
Party bunker.
Yeah. Ooh, maybe we can get a tour of the park. If you or someone you know knows about that $15 million party bunker in Vegas, let us know. Because I'm trying to get in that little cantina pool area under the ground.
I want to play putt-putt.